Hi, I'm Linda May, and I'm a reader here for Crystal Magic Psychic Center in Sedona, Arizona. And I'm here today to talk to you about this new moon period that we are beginning on Tuesday, October 21st at 5:25 a.m. And that's Arizona time, which right now is still Pacific Daylight Time, only for like another couple weeks after that. So yes, do adjust your time accordingly depending on where you are. This also represents the end of one lunar cycle and the beginning of another. So astrologically, it means that both the sun and moon are in the same sign. And on October 21st, they are both in the sign of Libra. Interestingly, though, the moon enters Scorpio just 3.5 hours later at 5:42 a.m. So that's just, a little over, 3.5 hours after the actual new moon. Okay, the new moon is usually a time of new beginnings, and this time emphasizes harmony, balance, and beauty. It's a great time to better understand relationship dynamics, which is also really important. This particular new moon in Libra is a very positive, loving reset. It's a time to realign with your life with justice, balance, and beauty. It's a time to come home to a sense of equilibrium. And it's a great time to plant seeds of cooperation and peace, justice in decisions, and more creativity on how to live our lives. Balance is a dance of give and take, so that too is an important reminder during this time. Sowing seeds of peace and understanding is a major consideration at this time. Aspect-wise, we have quite a bit going on. The sun squares Jupiter just before this new moon, which I had mentioned in the last full moon video. This adds to the fertile and creative time right now. And you can achieve much, and what you radiate will return to you as a rich harvest, which is great. Act lovingly, sincerely, and for the good of all, and that does make a difference. Now, the sun enters Scorpio the day after the new moon, on Wednesday, October 22nd, and that's the evening, so 8:51 p.m., so that's, 36 hours later or so. And it forms a yod, which is a balancing of two planets with another one sort of like a Y shape. So this is the sun forming a yod with Uranus and Neptune. And then it squares Pluto on the 24th. So the sun is active with all these planets at this time. And between these two things, both the yod and then the square with Pluto, it can bring in some denser energy. Feelings and emotions might be triggered. And this is also due to other aspects and planets and water signs following the new moon, including what's called a grand water trine between Mercury, Mars in Scorpio, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter in Cancer. So that's a lot of emotion. Suppressing emotion isn't a good idea at this time. They will break through as they can. This may also affect collective events, so do keep that in mind. And however, since Jupiter is in the mix, there will be considerable, we could move from chaos to more positive and develop more positive developments, but there's a good chance there will be considerable provocations and disputes that may lead to consequences. So do your best to just allow the current to carry you and wait until the waves have calmed. Don't freak out or anything. There's going to be ups and downs going on, but don't freak out. Just allow it to unfold. And that's not always easy to do, but it's usually the best advice. So we're now in the season of autumn as of September 22nd. And the autumn equinox was known as the second harvest festival, signifying the end of the harvest time. Day and night were equally balanced on that day, and the days are now getting shorter and the nights longer. And it's a good time. This is a really good time to start reflecting upon, if you haven't already been doing, reflecting upon your life, maybe beginning a spiritual journal to record your thoughts and inspirations that may come. And we will be moving into the season of Sowing, the last of the harvest seasons and the first of the winter seasons as October unfolds. So that's one of the things that we'll be hearing more about soon enough. Sowing is a time of change. It's a time of endings and beginnings, and it's considered to be the beginning of the Celtic New Year. And as the beginning of the Celtic New Year. So the traditional Celtic tree calendar based on the moon cycles with the new year beginning at Sowing on October 31st has the tree for this period of the October moon cycle as blackthorn, which is also known as strafe, as a rune, as an ogam actually. So that's blackthorn, okay? And this is associated with transformation through challenge. So this is something to keep in mind. You know, we are going to be going through some transformations. We are going through some challenges. But this is transformation through challenges, and that's always a better thing. It's a good time to set boundaries as you need to draw upon personal strength and an opportunity for renewal. So that's all a part of what can come out of all of this, which is positive. So sometimes we got to go through the bad stuff to get to the good stuff. It's just what is. And now I'm going to do all my different card pulls. First of all, from this Druid Animal deck, Druid Animal Oracle deck. I love this deck. I know I mention this all the time. It's my first Druid teacher created it, and it's the messages are very, very deep. I love his spiritual point of view and things, and oftentimes these have really great messages for people. Really wonderful message. This is the stag. This stands for protection and purity. So one of the things this is saying is to take time to protect those that are dear to you, protect the things that you love, protect yourself. You know, all of that protection and purity come from a pure heart in everything you do for others. And that's pretty much what this stag stands for. I often think of it as like the God or the Divine Father or the spiritual masculine, whatever you want to call it, looking down upon us and constantly protecting us and veering our path if we're going in a wrong direction and that sort of thing. Trust the process, as I said earlier. So we have the protection, and that's what this card is saying right here. We have the protection. Okay, now from the Druidcraft Tarot, same author, same artist, very deep, beautiful tarot deck. I've been reading tarot since I was a teenager, and these cards are deep. And, you know, and I really believe that it's Philip Cargam who's the author, and his wife Stephanie, who, you know, between them, they have that kind of depth, they have that kind of spiritual knowingness. And so it comes out even in their tarot cards, which I love, you know. So the card that we pull is the Two of Cups. Great card. The Two of Cups. Okay, so this is talking more about the harmony and love that we were talking about. This is about, you know, the meeting of two hearts. It's a really wonderful thing. But sometimes it also, and it does stand for like cooperation and things like that. But it also can stand for, you know, two sides, and something comes up and there may need to be a reconciliation. So this also can stand for reconciliation. It's the re-meeting of hearts. So as we go through some of these challenges I was talking about, it's probably a good idea to remember that in spirit, we're all one. We are all one, and what we are is pure love and light. We are love. So as we remember that, this card is a reminder that we can be loving towards others and cooperative towards others in harmony, do any kind of inner healing we need to do so that we can be there for others, all of that. And that's all demonstrated in this card, the Two of Cups, which I think is great. Now the Whispering Woods, we'll see what the trees have to say. Okay. And we get patience. Okay, patience. Patience. Everything, this is kind of what I was saying earlier, right? Everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. So sometimes you just got to let things unfold, as I mentioned. So do keep that in mind as we go forward, okay? Everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. And now I'm going to pull a card from this Sedona Spirit Wind deck here. Beautiful cards, beautiful messages. These are all the sacred sites in Sedona. Beautiful place here. If you haven't been here, I highly recommend it. Wonderful. And we get the Mystic Trail. The Mystic Trail. So the Mystic Trail. I enjoy unfettered access to ancient ways of sacred knowledge. I enjoy unfettered access to the ancient ways of sacred knowledge. So this is basically saying we do have that ancient sacred knowledge within us. We do have that. And what we need to do is be able to access it through our inspirations. So one of the things they're saying is that's part of what the Mystic Trail is about. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. So that's the spirit wind. And then I also like to do this message from the Light Bearers deck. It's a Light Bearers Angel Guidance deck right here. And these are great because these angels are here to help us awaken humanity. And I do believe that part of the aspects I was talking about at the beginning of that, or at least the continuation of us getting to a point where we can actually raise to a higher level of consciousness as a race, you know, as all the people on earth. That would be so cool. And we get Angel Duma, Angel Duma, Angel Duma. And it says, follow your dreams. They were put in your heart for a reason. As you follow your dreams, your light shines brighter and assists others in finding their way to their own dreams. Isn't that beautiful? That is such an incredible message for this time. Follow your dreams. They were put in your heart for a reason. As you follow your dreams, your light shines brighter and assists others in finding their way to their own dreams. And then they shine brighter, and that's how we can bring about the mystic trail. Okay, so keep that in mind for sure as we go forward. And let's see, I just want you to take everything I just said into your heart as a theme and remember it until the full moon, which is on November 6th. And I'll be back before then to tell you about that, probably around the end of October. And in the meantime, if you would like a psychic reading, be sure to check out Crystal Magic Psychic Center at crystalmagicpsychiccenter.com. You can schedule readings with me or any of our other great readers. You can schedule right online to make sure your spot is reserved. And we do walk-ins, so you can come in at any time, and whoever's available, you know, you can get. And they usually ask you to choose if there's more than one available. And you can also get Zoom readings or phone readings. So, you know, even if you're not around Sedona yet, you can still schedule readings. I'm usually here on Monday afternoons and Friday mornings, but next week I'm not going to, when you're watching this, I will probably be in New Hampshire. I will be in New England. I'm going to my nephew's wedding in New Hampshire, so I'm going to be gone for a week, but I will be back the following Monday, and you can schedule appointments after that time. They're all blocked off on the schedule already, so you wouldn't even be able to schedule me before then. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, and I also want to wish you blessings of this new moon, and remember, you are always loved.